Good afternoon. Welcome to today's lesson, agriculture. So in agriculture, we are going to look at some few questions on a revision. It will cover from Form 1 to Form 4. So the first question that we are going to tackle is about give two reasons why agriculture is looked as a science. So in agriculture is looked as a science because of crop pathology. Now, what does the term crop pathology mean? In crop pathology, this one will deal with in plants. So it is scientific study of science in plants caused by pathology and environmental condition. For example, we have fungi and bacteria, also viruses. So that's the term, what we mean by pathology. Another reason why agriculture is termed as a science is whereby study of entomology. And entomology is the branch of zoology dealing with scientific study of insects. So in zoology, in most cases, it should deal with study of animals. So that's another way as to why agriculture is termed as a science. Another point we have is genetics. And in agriculture, we learn about genetics. So genetics is simply a study of genes. Another way is why agriculture is termed as science, we have agricultural engineering. And this one will deal with concern with design, construction, and improvement of farming machines. The way we design those machines, that's a way of, so in that particular time we are applying what? Science and also in what? In agriculture. So lastly, we have science, soil science. So soil science is the study of soil as a natural resource of the earth, including soil formation. So when we learn about soil formation, we are talking about soil science. And that's how agriculture, that's how we are supposed to answer that question. In our case here, we are just told to give reason why agriculture is looked as a science. I've just given the points and I've divided them. So one, we have crop pathology, entomology, genetics, agricultural engineering, and science, soil science. Question number 2 was, what are the advantages of organic farming? So in this case, we have two types of farming. We have inorganic and organic. So when you talk about organic farming, it's whereby we dealing no pesticide is used and no fertilizers. So it's like we are doing it in a natural way. How do we do it in a natural way? So in this case, we have no chemicals, no fertilizers, no pesticide used. So what you're supposed to do in most of the case, you have to practice what? Crop rotation. And we have also to use green manure or compost or biological pest control. When you talk about biological pest control, it's whereby you use organism to control pests. In this case, you are just using what? Natural way of controlling what? Pest in your farm. So in organic farming, that's how it doesn't deal with any fertilizers or pesticide. Whereas in organic farming, there is use of fertilizers. So that's what, and we are the occasion is, what are the advantages of organic farming? Why is it important? One, it does not pollute the air, or it is environmental friendly. Two, it does not distress the soil microorganisms. And three, we have organic matter improves soil structure. We also have organic farming uses organic manure, which soil nutrient enhances water infiltration and retention. Lastly, we have organic manure provides food for soil microbes. So that's why organic farming is important. Now, the next question was, what is mixed farming? We have different types of farming. And now we are going, in our case here, we are being asked what is mixed farming. So in mixed farming is whereby we grow, cross, and rear of animals on the same what? Farm. So in short, it's the growing of crops and the rearing of animals on the same farm. Remember the key point there is same. You are not separating, you are just practicing the process of farming in the same land. That land you find you are doing farming at the same time you are keeping what? Livestock. That's what we talk, what we mean about what? Mixed farming. Now, question number 3 was give 4 reasons why agriculture is considered important in Kenya's economy. Why is agriculture important in Kenya's economy? 1, it provides food. 2, it is a source of employment. 3, we have provision of foreign exchange. 4, we have source of raw material for industries. 5, provision of market for the industry goods. And then we have source of money of capital. So that's why agriculture is important in a Kenyan economy. I've just listed some, and they are self-explanatory. I'm not going to expand on that. So we have the other question was state effects of HIV and AIDS on agriculture. So in this question, when you talk about effects can be positive or negative. So in this, you have just to list either positive or negative. 1, we have shortage of farm labor due to sickness. So when you are sick, you can't give out. You can't work the way you used to work when you are healthy. So money spent on caring for the sick instead of purchasing agro products. So there is money wasted. So in this particular time, you will spend a lot of money taking care of this patient or the infected person instead of doing it in the farm. Another way, effects of HIV and AIDS, it is lack of motivation to do farming. No motivation, because most of the time, when you are sick, you just feel that it's like you are going to die anytime. So you don't like to motivate anybody on agriculture or on farming. So you find this person is not much concerned as he used to be. So there is no motivation. So NGO government spend money to control HIV instead of financing agricultural activities. So, and government spends money to control HIV instead of giving it to the farmers. So that are some of effects that or effects of HIV is on agriculture. The other question was, what is soil profile? What is soil profile? So, when you divide the soil profile, it is the vertical arrangement of various soil layers or horizons. It's the vertical arrangement of various soil layers or horizon. How are they arranged? So the soil are arranged in horizon or layers. And then the part B of that question, you are told to describe the component of a well-developed soil profile. Remember part 1 or part A, you are asked to define the soil profile. And then part B of that question, you are told to describe the component of a cell, of a well-developed cell profile. One, we have the superficial layer. In superficial layer consists of dry, decaying, and decayed organic matters. And then we have the other, we have topsoil. We have topsoil is the uppermost soil layer with high humus. That's one we call horizon hair. You can call it horizon hair or topsoil. So contain well aerated and decomposed organic matter, topsoil or horizon hair. We have subsoil. We can also call it horizon B. It is more compact and less aerated. It is more compact and less aerated. Then we have substratum or weathered rock. So this one we find that you find small rocks this soil. So it's made up of partly withered rocks with no humus. So there is no humus in this soil. And then we have the last one, we have parent rock, that's horizon D. So it is what? It is referred to as the bedrock. So in this case, you find the big stones and you find them in parent rock. And that's now you have described that part of soil profile by listing and dividing. So first one, it says superficial layer, topsoil, subsoil, substratum, and the parent rock. So when you divide that, you have here 6 marks. And then we have the other question was, we are told to state the reason for preparing land before planting. Why is it important to prepare land before you plant? Now, first, it is to kill weeds. 2, we have to incorporate manure and other organic matter into the soil. And then we have to destroy different stages of cross pests such as eggs, larva, pupa, and or haddock. So we are when we prepare land earlier, that's what we are going to do. The advantage of it. So also to aerate the soil. And then we have to encourage the penetration of roots in the soil, because the soil at that particular time it becomes more loose. And then you encourage penetration of roots in the soil. And lastly, you have to make subsequent operational possible while we are cultivating. So you make your land or you make work easier while we are cultivating. So it is important to prepare land before planting. And then we have the other question. We are told to define the term soil fertility. What is soil fertility? In soil fertility, it is the ability of the soil to provide crops with the required nutrient in proper proportion for high production. Soil fertility, it is the ability of the soil to provide crops with the required nutrient in proper proportion for high production. So why in soil fertility, you are just going to make your soil fertile, and at the end of it, you are going to gain from it by having high production. And then we have part B of that question. You are told to state characteristics of a fertile soil. How does a fertile soil look like? One characteristic is a good depth. In good depth, we have to provide nutrient and a strong orchard. And then we have proper drainage. We have good water holding capacity to ensure that enough water is retained. Adequate nutrient supply. So in inadequate nutrient supply, this one should be supply nutrient in correct amount as required by the crops. So we have white characteristic of our soil fertile soil. We have correct soil pH. It should have correct soil pH. And then lastly, we have free soil, excessive infection of the soil-borne pests and the diseases. So that is why a characteristic of soil, fertile soil. That is. Now, last question was you are supposed to discuss the importance of livestock to a Kenyan farmer. Importance of livestock to a Kenyan farmer. One, we have it is a source of food. Some animal products are utilized by people as food, like we get meat, we get milk from animal. So at that particular time, it's giving us food. So it is also a source of income. A product that we get from the cow or from an animal, we use them to buy. You can use that product to buy food. That money that you get after selling, you can use them to buy food. Then we have cultural uses. Livestock are highly regarded by different community as status. And then we have cyber media or exchange, so you can use it in different ways. So it is also provision of raw material. For example, texture industry raw material like wool, fur, eggs, and skins. Those are importance of livestock to a Kenyan farmer. And that's, I can't see any question. Having another question, we shall end our lesson at point. Till next time. Have a good day.